Hi guys! So today I wanted to do an Easter inspired tutorial. I saw online a bunch of people just doing Easter eggs or whatever on their crease. I've seen people do the bunny rabbit above their eyebrow. I'm gonna do something in my own version, kind of taking that concept. So I have I have a lot of products in front of me, and this is going to be a long video, just a fair warning. So if you want to get to the eyes and go ahead and jump ahead straight to the eyes, when I do my tutorials, I always do full face. So guess we're just going to get started. I'm going to start off with the Too Faced Hangover Primer. I never tried this before. In my other videos I have, but I'm still trying it for my skin. So, prior to doing this, I did moisturize my face with the e.l.f. Hydrating Serum. And I had to let it sit. I've been sitting here before I even turned the camera on for 5 minutes. I can't talk. Every time I turn on the camera, it's like I can't get words out. So, this is what the hydrating serum looks like. Brought to you by Walmart. So, for this look, I'm kind of thinking of like a bright, really creative look. And I know some people celebrate Easter and they go to church. I'll let you know when it's safe. Because this is not an everyday wear look. I really wanted to do something very creative, because that's how I am. I do creative looks for holidays. I didn't do anything for St. Patrick's Day, but by the time I'm recording this, it is St. Patrick's Day, and I do have my lucky shirt, so don't come for me. I did explain in another tutorial that I wasn't going to do a St. Patrick's Day look. I'm kind of feeling guilty about it now. Sorry. I am Irish, part, so it is going to be a little weird. So I am going to start off with my eyes first, because I am going to be using a lot of bright colors, and it has a lot of fallout, and I don't want a lot of powder under my eyes, because it will just make me look really old. And I have a little bit of errands to run today, so we'll see. So I'm going to start. This is the NYX eyeshadow base in the shade white. I mean, it's white. Sorry about that. I got text. My bad. This is the... I already said what it was. Me on camera, man. It's tough. Yowzers. So I'm just going to take... This sponge I usually use for my concealer, but I usually take the end of it, the little rounded end, and I stick it in, twist it, boom. And I put this directly over my eyes, just like so. The reason why I'm adding white is because I am using a lot of bright colors, and I really want them to pop. Now, if you don't have this, you can just use your concealer and then put white eyeshadow over top. If you do it that way, then I recommend that you definitely put white eyeshadow over top of it. And it won't be as pigmented on first application, but all you need to do is layer it, and it's fine. It's just going to take a little longer. This is kind of like the faster version-ish. And don't worry if it, like, gets over here, because we're going to clean that up later. Alright. Just tap it down a little more. Now, to set it, I'm going to take the BareMinerals Powder Foundation, the BarePro, in the shade Fair 01. And I'm going to use what I normally use for my powder under my eyes. But I'm going to use it for this and just take a little bit of it. Make sure there's no creases in my eyes or on my eyes, and then put it right over top. And this is to help keep it from creasing because my eyes crease so fast. Like, this wasn't even on 30 seconds and it was already creasing. I don't think you can tell in the video, but I'm trying to find ways to keep it from creasing. And it's just like, it doesn't want to not crease. So, this is my best bet. At least for me. If you don't have that problem, you are so lucky. Trust me, it's not fun. For my makeup look, I am going to be using a lot of eyeshadow palettes. You don't have to use these palettes. I just use it because of all the colors. But you don't have to. You don't need to follow me. And so for my first one, I gotta find a number. This is not from my normal collection that I use this one a lot, but guess it doesn't have a number. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to be using the Riviera palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I'm going to be starting off with the shade Estate, which is like a peach light color. I'm going to take that on my brush and I'm going to put it right in the crease, which is right in the outer part of your eye and in. And as you can tell, it's a little bit more pigmented because I didn't set, when I put the powder on, I didn't put a lot of powder. I just put a little bit, enough to set it. As Trixie Mattel would say, set it and forget it. I love her, by the way. She's beautiful. Now, this palette does have a lot of fallout, so don't be surprised. I mean, a lot. You can't really see it. Well, you can kind of see it. It's a lot of fallout. What I do, it's my palette. So, now I'm going to take a fluffier brush. This is this brush, the number 7, I believe. The stuff kind of wore off on me, so this is the number 7 brush. And I'm going to take the white shade called Sails. And I'm going to take it and blend it right above Estate. And blend that out right under my brow. And I'm going to try to get you all zoomed in. I'm kind of new to this stuff and I was going to do an editing. This is probably going to be my first video that I edit. It's not going to be a lot. Everything's going to still be there, at least to my knowledge. But I am going to try to edit this as much as possible if I can. If I can't, this will probably go straight on to YouTube. One of these videos, one day, will be edited. I just don't know which one. So, next I'm going to take this blush palette. This is from the Pro Artist Blush Palette from Style Essentials. And I'm going to take a different brush. Which one do I want to take? I'm going to take the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill brush JH30. And I'm going to take this baby pink, the second shade in with a hole in it. That's partially my fault. And it's very pigmented. And I'm going to take it and go over Estate. And what that's going to do is change the shade a little bit more to a pink, peachy color. I'm not very good at describing colors. And I'm going to bring it up into the white, because later on I will be blending this. And then blend it. And now you see. See if I can get my ring light. You see where the blending is. If I can get that to stay. Okay, gonna wipe off that brush. Here's where we get ourselves into trouble. I am going to be taking the Zulu palette from Juvia's place. And this is a spring palette all on its own. Like, you can do a complete look with just this. I mean, spring. And I'm also going to be taking the Take Me Back to Brazil palette from BH Cosmetics. Take that sleeve off. I'm not really sure where I'm going to go with this, but there it is. I mean, I already have the pink-ish color, peachy color. I wanted to try and go light. I mean, I really want to put this blue on my lid. Like that. We'll see. I don't see a lot of light colors. This is going to be a bright, like, crazy tutorial. So if you don't like that, I'm sorry. So, let me think. It's a very difficult decision. I'm going to take the BH Cosmetics palette. And I'm going to take this bright green, like this bright, bright green. And I'm actually going to use this brush from, this is the JH33 brush from Jaclyn Hill's collection. And I'm going to take this bright green. And that is that's a lot. And I'm going to go to the outer part of my lid. Not necessarily in the crease. Just on, like, literally that little bit. And I'm going to blend it a little bit into that pink. Because if you don't know your colors, pink and green make a weird brown. And I don't want that. I really want to keep it very separated. Very spring. I mean, I really don't want to stop using this color. I mean, it's so pretty. I love the shade of green. This is my favorite color green right here. This neon, my favorite of all time. My room is literally this color. I know it's hard to tell, but let me see. Boop. Boop. Like, hello. You can see where it's here. Now, here's the hard part. I don't know what I want to do now. I think what I'm going to do is this pink's a little muddy. Not muddy, but it's like not quite the shade of pink I want it to be, which bugs me a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the BH Cosmetics palette. I'm going to take the lightest pink right up here, that baby pink. Put this on the brush. and lighten this up a little. Now I can always go in with the white and lighten it up, but that looks pretty good. Actually, I'm gonna add. So I'm gonna go in with the Zulu palette from Juvia's Place. I'm gonna take this purple. If we're gonna go for it, we're gonna go for it. I take that purple, and I'm gonna put it right in between the green and the pink, right directly in the crease. I like that a little better. Okay. Then I'm gonna go back in with the Take Me Back to Brazil palette. I'm gonna take that green and I'm gonna redistribute it back on the outer part of my lid, because when I put that purple on, it kind of took that brightness away. I'm just gonna pat it on this time and really make sure it's on there. Kind of have to back. Okie dokie. So now I'm kind of excited about this part. So I'm gonna take the. Which one did I use for this? I'm going to take the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill brush in GH41 flat concealer brush, and I'm going to take the Colourpop concealer in the shade Fair 00, which is basically a white concealer. Put it on the back of my hand and hope for the best as I try to cut my crease. Now, if you don't know how to cut your crease, I'm going to show you a way. Close your eyes and put some concealer on the inner part of your eye, or however far you want it. You don't need a lot. Raise your eye up and look around, and then you have a line showing you where you cut your crease. And so I am doing that right now. If you hear that, that's my grandfather coming home. Alright, look around. And you may not be able to see it on the camera, but I did cut my crease along the line that it said. And I'm going to pat it out. And I'm taking all the rest of that concealer off the brush. I'm going to go back in with that green. And I'm going to pat just a little bit. Pat it along that edge right there. And then you see it kind of like has that blend to it. So next, I'm going to go in with the Juvia's Place palette. I'm going to take this shiny blue. Like, that blue is going on my lid. I'm sorry, that blue is going on my lid. So I'm taking this on a brush. It's dry. There's no, you don't have to wet it. I'm going to pat it on my lid. Oh my goodness. Oh, that blue is so pretty. I'm going to put it along where I cut my crease. And I mean, this is it dry. Normally with shimmers, you normally have to do a couple layers. And even so, it's not quite the consistency that you want. You like want that blinding, like, boom, in your face. And this is it dry. I don't think you can tell. I will bring in my ring light to show you how shimmery it is without it being wet. So here we go. The light may not catch it right, but this is what I got so far. And I know the edges look a little rough. That we'll fix that later. That's gonna be perfectly fine. So what I'm gonna do now is take more of that blue from the Juvia's Place palette. Now I'm going to wet it and show you the difference, so you can see. You can take any setting spray that you want. I just take one that's closest to me and just spray it. And now, oh, that made it so much better. A lot better than what I thought it was going to be. Wow. Okay. That's my garage door. My family is here, and they are very noisy. It's family. You know, what am I gonna say? It's not my house. So, here's what it looks like wet, which is usually more pigmented. Now, I am gonna go over this blue with another blue, but the top part kind of came out muddy. I'm gonna have to find a way to fix that. Let me see. Let me put this back. I don't need that concealer anymore. Okay. So I'm gonna go back in with the Riviera palette. Just this one. And they have a blue in here called Seculi. I don't know how to say that. The blue shade. Because that's the only blue other than Mediterranean, but we don't need to worry about that. I've already used that one in another tutorial. So I'm going to take that shade. It's pretty turquoisey blue. It's a little bit darker. I'm going to put it as like an overlay over top of that blue from Juvia's Place. And what that's going to do is help bring it out a little more. There we go. I don't need to give you a close-up of that one because it's the same thing. It's just a little bit more glittery. So let me go back in with Sales. That's the white, which is right here. And And I'm going to try to lighten that pink up because it came out a lot more darker than what I wanted it to. And so I'm really packing it on there and really going to blend that out. And I think that's going to work. I hope. So you can wear this out if you so please. If you go to church on Sundays, on Easter Sunday, I don't. But if you do, this is not the tutorial. Either my next video or the video after that, I will try to have an everyday look for like church and for everything like that. I don't know when it'll be up though. So I'm gonna try to have something up for that. So I'm going in with this baby pink from the Take Me Back to Brazil palette. This is a lot. This is already on 26 minutes. I'm gonna take that baby pink and go back over where I just lightened it up. So there's still a bit of pink. And to try to lighten that purple a little bit, because that purple was intense and I thought it was going to look better and it doesn't. Okay, and I'm going back in with that green and I'm going to blend that into the blue. I'm gonna I'm gonna go to the center. I'm gonna lightly just go back and forth to blend it. And if you want, you can take this blue shade right here and use that to blend it too. You can do that. I'm probably gonna try this. And use that instead of trying to do the green. So this is what we have. I'm not really worried about the pink anymore because it's just gonna be, this is gonna be sharpened, and then the idea that I have for it, it's gonna be pretty cool. So I'm going to put these over to the side for right now. Yeah, oh, we got that over with. So I already have my primer down. That was in the very beginning. And I'm going to take, for my foundation, I'm going to take the Born This Way foundation from Too Faced in the shade Cloud, which is the lightest shade you can get, which is almost my perfect match, which is crazy. It's just a little bit pink for me, but this particular bottle is almost empty. So I kind of have to just pour it to get it out. I do have another bottle, but I need to use up my old stuff first, because there would be no point of me going out and getting, you know, like, why would I do that? Go into the new stuff, not use up the old stuff. Whoa, that's cold. I forgot how cold that was. That is freezing cold. Oh. I'm getting notifications from YouTube. It looks really light on me right now. I know it looks white. It doesn't turn out that way. by the time I'm done, because it does kind of oxidize for me. And once I blend it in and let it sit, it's fine. It's okay. It's cool. Now, when you get, because we did our eyes first, you have to be extra cautious about when you go across here. And with the concealer too, you're going to have to be that way. Now, of course, I did my eyes first because I did not want to have pink and blue and purple under my eyes. So that's why I did it this way. You don't have to do it this way. You can do foundation first and then do the look. Yeah. Now, normally in my other tutorials, you see me do my face first and then to the eyes. You don't have to watch me do my face. You can skip ahead to the eyes. I have no problem with that. Because I know a lot of you are probably busy. Or if you're bored and you just want to do makeup with someone, like a get ready with me, that's cool too. We're in it together. Okay. That's as blended as that's gonna get. I might as well try to get the ears. Even though this is a perfect shade match. Which is sad. As you can tell, it's not so white. It looks like that on camera. But it's not so white right now. It's definitely settled down. Okay. Now for concealer, I am using 2 concealers. I always use 2 concealers now. You don't have to do this. I do have the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Fair. And I'm going to use this under my eyes. I am almost out of this. And the reason why I don't use this as often is because I use other items. Because this used to be my holy grail. Like this and this alone was my holy grail. But I've come to learn that there are other products out there that are good. They're not exactly like Shape Tape, but and when you put the concealer on, you really want to sharpen it back a little bit so you do get that sharp edge. And I'm just going to set that there for right now. And this is my sponge. I'm going to look buffety. Now, for people who don't know how to use a beauty blender, I don't know who, but people who are starting out, I guess, this is a beauty sponge, and you just bounce it. And it blends out your products, instead of you applying foundation with your fingers, or I used to apply my foundation with my hands. I don't recommend doing that. But for people who don't know what to get, or, you know, they just prefer to use their hands, it's okay. There are plenty cheap alternatives. Like the Real Technique sponge is like $6, I believe. And as you can tell, I'm really sharpening up this. I'm really just gonna straighten everything out. This is what it looks like. Okay. Now, I'm going to take the Nars Creamy Concealer in the shade Chantilly. And I'm going to put this under my eyes. I don't want a really highlighted look today, so this is what we're getting. We're going to highlight with powder which is better. I would rather it either or. I usually either highlight with powder or I highlight with concealer, or sometimes I do both depending on the look, but for this one I really wanted to focus on the eyes. And I also add concealer in the creases of my nose and my smile lines because that's where I normally crease the most. And I smile a little bit and really get into the smile lines. And then I take it and I blend. Go right in here. Go around in the smile lines. And the crease of my nose. Under my eye. And if you see me looking down, my mirror is literally like you can kind of see the light if I move in. It's a Danielle mirror from Ulta Beauty, which was like $70 something. I've said that in another video, but still, it's $70 something. But to their defense, it is a really good mirror. Okay. So for powder, I am going to be using the Fenty Beauty powder in the shade Lavender, which is what I use 99.9% of the time. It's a lot, but I love it. And if you notice you're out of powder, like I didn't know this with the shakers. You put the lid on and then like you shake it, and then that's how the powder gets in at the top, which I never knew. I never knew that. Tells you how good I am. And so I'm going to take that. I'm going to tap off the excess on this. That's what it should look like. I'm going to make sure I don't have any creases. By the way, this is a dry sponge. And what I do is I take it and I drag it down just a little lightly. And then I push it in. I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to make sure there aren't any creases. I'm going to put the powder underneath. I'm going to press it in first. Just dip it out. Tap off the excess. And bring it down. Push it in. Anywhere on the highlighted parts of your face, you really want to put powder. Especially where you put the concealer. And definitely in the smile lines. If you added powder in your smile lines. If you don't have that problem, don't worry about it. I mean, it's still a good idea, but you don't have to. Okay, And so for the highlight parts, I used a lighter powder. For the rest of my face, I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty in the shade Butter. And there it is. It's a lot of powder, even for me. And I'm going to take the other end of my sponge and pack this on my face. This is a lot of powder, and I've mentioned this in another video. You don't need this much powder. I tend to need it because I wear a lot of makeup. And I also tend to get oily throughout the day. And so, you don't need this. You really don't. And I'm just reinforcing underneath my eye to make sure that everything is set under the eye very well. I'm reinforcing my nose and the smile lines. This looks crazy, I know. Like a crazy amount of powder. I am gonna go down my neck this time. I don't show it. I try to go down my neck, but it doesn't always happen like I would like it to. And just pat that all over. Okay? So we've already done the eyes. So normally this is where I would do the eyes. But we already have it done. So, yay! So we can put all of that away, or over to the side, or wherever. Normally I would just sit here and wait for 5 minutes, but, you know, I am on camera, and this is already at 42 minutes. Yeah, this is going to be a long tutorial. So no, I'm not going to wait the 5 minutes. Because I'm just not in the mood for it. So, I'm taking my #1 brush from the BH Cosmetics brush set. And I'm going to brush it all off. All of that powder. Now, if you're not skilled enough to use a big brush like that, if you're just starting out, use a smaller brush for your under eyes. And this is how it is. Now, moving on to brows, I'm going to take the BeneFitCa Brow in the shade 6, because they don't really have shades, like shade names, they just have numbers, and it does come with a little brush in the lid. I'll take some, use that brush to do my eyebrows. And I'm not taking a lot, I'm only taking the tiniest bit. Because I do want my brows to be kind of like natural, like filled in, natural, bushy kind of look. Because this is Easter and it is about a bunny rabbit. So I kind of want that bushy kind of look. Now I'm going to take a spoolie. This is just a cheap one from Five Below. It came in a pack. And I'm going to use that and blend it out. I don't have eyebrows anyway. I mean, I have eyebrows, but they're not even at all. Like, at all. So, I'm going to take that. Boom. That's it. For brows. Anyway. I'm going to take this brush from the other pack from Five Below. And I just dropped my palette. It's fine. And I'm not really sure what color I want to go in with for the bottom lash line. Normally you would just go what's on top, but I really want to do like something really bright underneath, you know, like this is Easter, like you really want it bright. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do something cool. I'm gonna take this yellow right here from the Juvia's Place palette. There's no names on this either, so there's not really a lot of reference other than what I'm telling you. And pack that on the brush. Put this underneath. It's more of like a musty yellow. I don't like that. Okay, change of plans. We're going into the BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil palette, and we're going to take this yellow down here, the one in the center. I'm going to take that, pack that on my brush. Yeah, okay. That's a lot better. So we have this. If you can see that yellow. It's kind of difficult. Well, now I'm going to take this orange down here, this bright orange, like freaking inferno. I'm going to take that, put this on my brush just a little bit, and put it on the outer edge of the bottom lash line. And gently blend it into the yellow. And you can see the yellow a little bit better. I hope. Going back in with that yellow, and I'm going to blend the two together a little more. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm finished with those. I might need this. So we have this so far. So what I wanted to do is something a little different. And I don't know if I want to add lashes to this look or not. I have an eyelash on my face. Wonderful. I didn't even realize that for the longest time. Right now I'm going to add some pizzazz to this look because this is like a Easter spring inspired look. And I'm going to take a white eyeliner. This is from Urban Decay, the Razor Sharp Longwear Liquid Eyeliner in the shade Bump, which is the white. I'm going to take this. Not spill any, hopefully. I can get it open. Come on now. There we go. As you can see, it's a little brush tip. And I'm going to put a flower on the edge. Or tiny flowers on the edge. Like that. And I'm gonna do maybe another one. Well, let me do one on this side. Right, this one's gonna have more petals. I'm gonna add another one and just keep adding flowers. Until you feel that it doesn't need any more. I'm just doing this because it would look cool with flowers, like this look. It just looks cool. And it kind of covers up that muddy pink and brings out the pink in it. So this is what I have so far. And all of my stuff is in real time, so this is going to be a very long video. So just to break up the color, because it kind of looks like everything's blended, I am going to add white eyeliner. I'm not going to do a wing. I'm just going to put white on the line for eyeliner. Do the same thing on the other side. I know that was like awkward silence, but basically you can't. Whoever can talk and do a wing, I don't know how you do it. So this is it. I don't think I'm gonna add lashes with this one. I don't know how it would look with it. But I am gonna brighten up my eyes, and to do that, I'm going to use the Milk Jumbo Eye Pencil in the shade Milk, which is just straight up white. I'm going to use this, and I'm going to go on my waterline with this. To brighten up my eyes. I know it's a little dark in here. When we get into natural light, it will be a lot better, but this is it. So you can see the white really brings out my eyes, makes it bigger and more. So next, I'm going to take my eyelash curler. And since I'm not using falsies, I am going to be using the Bad Gal Bang mascara, which is my fave so far. And I'm going to do this, and I'm going to curl my lashes. It feels like this year is going by so fast. Like it's already St. Patrick's Day. I remember yesterday it was like Christmas. That's what it feels like. It's like so weird that as you get older, everything seems to change. So I'm taking the Bad Gal mascara, and I'm gonna just put it on. I mean, you can see the difference. This woo! Sound like some demonic voice there. Almost sounded like The Exorcist. Okay, so this is what we have. I think it looks really good. I don't normally do looks like this, so this is actually really cool. Okay. So for blush, I'm going to be taking the Pro Artist blush palette. Oh boy. And I'm going to be taking the baby pink that I normally use somewhat. I'm going to be taking that, putting it on my face. I am going a little bit lighter on the blush. Usually I would go like crazy, but for this look, not a fan. Alrighty, now I'm going to take the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula. And I'm going to... This is, by the way, this is the Wet n Wild brush. This is from like the dollar store. I'm going to use that, tap off the excess, and carve out my cheekbones. Just like so. Very soft, very easy. I am going to go in with the Hoola bronzer by Benefit. This is not the light, this is just the normal one. And I'm going to take a little bit and tap off as much as I can. Because I only need the tiniest amount. And I'm just going to go along my cheekbones. Just to give me just a little bit more definition. Now, if this is too dark, all you have to do is take a powder foundation, and I'm taking this one, I'm putting it on my powder sponge, but you can use whatever you want. So it's on there, and I'm just gonna carve out my cheeks and then tap over top, so you still get that like chisel bone look, like you know how people just same concept, a little bit different application. This one I went a little ham on. As well, just if you don't like that like sharp look, just take it down here and tap it out and blend it under. Eventually it's gonna blend out. So it made it a little softer. I think I'm gonna use this. Now for highlight, I'm going to use the BECCA highlighter in the shade Pearl. Love that name. I'm going to take it, this is a Clinique eyeshadow brush, but I decided to use it as a highlighting brush because it's dense. So I have this. It's very, very light. It looks like there's nothing there, but there is. It's just very light. Actually, since I'm on the topic, I'm going to be using the Ofra highlighter in the shade in Glazed Donut from Nikki Tutorials. It's her collab. Still going strong, Nikki. And I'm going to put that over top real quick, just so I have a little bit more oomph to it. On my nose, on my Cupid's bow. If you don't want it on your Cupid's bow, you don't have to. I just do it. Then I'm going back with that BECCA highlighter. And I'm going to put that over top. Which, even though the Ofra highlighter is a blending highlighter anyway, I still like to add a little bit over top. And I put it above my brow. I didn't always used to do that, but I'm doing it now. It's a new year, new me. Not really. Still me. I just used different methods. Almost dropped it. I'm going to put this back in its case, which I have a little case for it. And for lips, I am going to go a little bright. Now, you can use a nude, you can use whatever you want. I am not like that. I'm going to take, now, this is the Jeffree Star Lip Scrubs. This is in chocolate covered strawberries. This came out last year, I think. And so, exfoliating my lips. These are so good. Now, with his, you can eat them. Now, it doesn't replace a meal like he says. But they're good. I'm gonna take a tissue and wipe off my dry skin on my lips. Nobody wants to see that. That stuff tastes so good. You see them now. And now I'm going to take the Jeffree Star liquid lipstick in the shade Watermelon Soda. And for those of you who don't know, it smells like watermelon. And it came from his, I believe it was from a summer collection, and then he brought it back and put it in his permanent line. And I'm going to be using that. I'm so excited. I mean, this has full pigment. Okay, this is it. And for setting spray, I have a bunch of options. You know what? I'm going to do something new. I'm going to take the NYX Dewy Finish setting spray. Doesn't say the shape, does it? I'm going to shake it up anyway. And I'm going to use this and set my face. Ooh, that's a nice setting spray. That is the first time I've ever used it. So, in natural light, we're gonna go by the window. I have to kind of crawl out of my area. It's supposed to be warm today. This is what it looks like in natural light. The pink kind of went muddy on me, but the pink is not bad. It could be worse. But this is it. Came out good. Came out better than I expected. So probably sometime this week I'll have the everyday look tutorial for people who just need everyday looks. I may do another video of my setup on how everything's set up, at least for now. That's about it. So if you want, you subscribe down below. I don't beg for subscribers, so if you don't want to, you don't have to. And if you like it, then like this video, and leave a comment if you want me to do anything. Just leave suggestions and I'll see what I can do. Alright, you guys have an amazing day.